Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and it's Debsy, and the place to be, it's Debsy. Boop, boop, that's me. Boop, Debsy. Oh, here's a little bit of toothpaste. Is that toothpaste? Yeah, I think I dropped toothpaste on my shirt. Okay, anyways, happy Saturday. Welcome back to my channel, and happy Sunday. I hope everybody is having a wonderful weekend and had a great day. I had a relaxing but somewhat productive day. So I mentioned yesterday that I was going to give you a movie recommendation. This is water. So here we go. This is a movie that just dropped on Peacock on Valentine's Day. I was going to watch it on Valentine's Day, but then I got busy doing something else and was like, well, let's not. Did I watch it Valentine's Day? No, I did. Yes, I did. I was going to watch it Valentine's Day night, like earlier in the evening. And I started coloring and I just got really into it. So later in the evening, much later in the evening, I watched it. It's on Netflix. You're like, what is it? What is it? Well, based on the title, you might know what it is. It's the fourth movie in the Bridget Jones saga. And the last movie, and that is Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. It's on Peacock right now. And you might think, do you like it? I'm going to tell you, I loved it. I read the first book. I loved Bridget Jones's diary. So I had high hopes for the movie, and I was not disappointed. I absolutely loved the first movie. The second movie, Bridget Jones' Edge of Reason, I think it was what it was called. It wasn't the worst, but it was okay. The third movie I did not see. I think it was called Bridget Jones's Baby. I didn't see it just because the thing for me that I really like about Bridget Jones, I like her quirkiness. I like the fact that she's like that. I always liked the fact that she had like, she was sort of a plus size single female, and she was quirky and she was always getting into these like misadventures. I enjoyed that. So for me, if she was going to settle down and have like a kid and be married, then that would kind of change what I liked, you know? So I didn't see the third one at all. So now we're at the fourth one, Bridget Jones, Mad About the Boy. So Renee Zellweger, of course, if they're going to bring back Bridget Jones, they got to bring back Renee Zellweger. So she's back for this one. Like I said, I love this one. I was thinking, hopefully they can get back to maybe like the formula that they had the first time, and I had high hopes for it. I did. So what is it about? So Bridget, she is single again. So as it turns out in the third film, she marries Mark Darcy. I'm just going to say this because the other one I guess has been out for like a while. So here's the spoiler. She married Mark Darcy. She married Colin Firth's character, Mark Darcy. They ended up having a son and a daughter. So they have two kids. Well, flash forward now to Bridget Jones about Mad About the Boy. And she's a single parent. Her husband, Mark Darcy, he passed. I like this. I don't like the fact that anybody dies in movies, but I would rather, if she's single, that it's not because like they divorced, you know, because I liked Mark Darcy. Like at first in the first movie, I was like, oh, he's a dick. But when you put him up against Hugh Grant's character, Daniel Cleaver, you were like, oh, he's much better than that guy. And by midpoint of the first movie, I was like, oh my God, I really hope she gets with Mark Darcy. So I was glad. I mean, I wasn't happy to see that he had passed, but I would rather it be, that way in the movie than if they divorced and things maybe weren't amicable and stuff like that. But his character had passed during a humanitarian aid mission in the Sudan. I believe it was like a landmine explosion. So he had passed. It's 4 years. She's still single. So she goes out to, she'll go out into the world and people will be like, when are you going to move on? When are you going to start having sex? When are you going to start dating? So that's where she's at right now. I'm not going to tell you exactly what brings her in to dating again, but she decides to go out there and start dating again. And all of her, like, the little quirks are back. It was a lot of fun. It was just a fun movie. Now, what did I really like about the movie? There wasn't anything I didn't like about the movie, to be honest with you. Like, there was a point at which they could have chosen to have her wallow longer, but she snapped out of it. And she got back to, like, writing in her journal. And you remember, like, if you saw the first movie, when she would, like, do the voiceovers and they sounded like she was just reading entries from her journal. That's back. So the things I loved. Listen, first and foremost, Hugh Grant is back. Hugh Grant is having, like, a renaissance, and I'm here for it. I mean, from playing an Oompa Loompa in Wonka to his leading role in Heretic, which, if I'm being completely honest, I kind of wished he would have, I wished he would have been nominated for leading actor for the Oscar. He wasn't. I kind of wish he was. So now he's back as Daniel Cleaver in this last episode, this last installment in the series. And I liked it because he's right back to, like, his cheeky naughtiness, like he was always the flirt. And he was always, like, even after he realized that he wasn't going to be with what's her name, with Bridget Jones. Although he wasn't in, from what I understand, he wasn't in the third movie. Instead of him, it was Patrick Dempsey. Not bad looking. But yeah, he's still back to his, like, cheekiness. But in this movie, there's that, but then he's also matured a little bit in that now he's just very good friends with, he's very good, maybe like best friends with Bridget. And his kids, like, he's very close with her kids. They call him Uncle Daniel, but he's moved on a little bit, but not totally, because he still, like, talks about, her outfits and references what happened between the two of them. And the part where he's making, like, he's teaching, like, these young boys how to make cocktails like Dirty Bitch or Filthy Bitch. It's pretty funny. It's pretty hilarious. But I like that. I like that he's back and he's still the same, but he's matured a little bit, but not to the point where he's, like, not himself. I love that. A lot of the details are back from, like, the first film. And with that, I'm going to tell you, if you watch it, watch the closing credits, because they do a fantastic job of giving nods to, like, the first and second, and I believe probably maybe even the third. I didn't see the third movie, so I don't know of any of the stills, if any of the stills are from that, but the first and second are definitely in there. But the original group of friends, like the three original that she would always go out with, the two ladies and the guy, they're back. So her original friends are back. They make reference to things like Daniel's Christmas jumper, you know, that Christmas jumper that he wore the first time. Oh no, it's whenever him and his parents went over to her parents' house for a Christmas party. They mention silly little boots, her silly little boots. It's the same mom, the same actresses played the mother and aunt. And even the ending reminded me of not the very, very ending, but near the end. It reminded me of the ending in the first one. All of that, they had so many things that they brought back. I love that. The new addition was Emma Thompson, who played her gynecologist. She was very good. She was very funny. I mean, but what is Emma Thompson not great in? She's great in everything she does. So I like the fact, I guess the reason why I liked it so much was because it followed so closely to the formula of the first one. Like I said, what I really loved about the first one is Bridget Jones herself is just this quirky, she's too much. She's too loud and she's too inappropriate. She's too single around everyone. That's another thing they bring back. Like in the first film, whenever she was sitting there at the table, at the head of the table, and it was all couples, and then there was just her who was a single. Well, this is back. She's there. She's at the table. It's 4 years exactly to the day that Mark had passed, and she's there, and they're talking about, you know, people being single and this and that, and when are you going to move on, stuff like that. But also, I forgot to mention, so here's the thing. The storyline basically is she's a single lady who's raising 2 kids now. Everybody's telling her to move on. So she gets out there. She happens to meet this much younger man. His name is Rockster. And I forgot to look up the name of the actor who plays him. He is very charismatic. As the young people would say, he got riz. Look at me. I'm not a boomer, but I'm Gen X. And I know what riz means. So he got riz. He is, they spend such a lovely romantic summer together. So you're going to have to see. I mean, when I say the formula follows the first one, the formula follows the first one. And I love the first one, so I'm not mad at that. And if it's the last film in the entire series, I don't need for it to be like, you know, this is not a movie that's going to be contending for Oscars or anything. Like, they're not writing it for that. And I don't think they're making it for that. I think this is just like, you know, they're getting back to the formula that worked so well for them. Like I said, Bridget Jones she's always too much. She's not going to fit in. She's a square peg trying to fit in a round circle world. And, you know, she's quirky. She's too much. She's too loud. You know, she doesn't fit in. She's inappropriate. And she's single, and that's why I love her. That's why I love the character in the book, and I love the character in the first and second movies. So it was great. I really loved it. Bonus, in one of the episodes, I was like, what is this song? And it's supposed to be like, kind of like a sad song. And it was a slowed down version of one of my favorite songs in the 80s by a band called Erasure. Now, if you're old like me, then you know Erasure. Erasure has some bangers. They have some great songs. But they slowed down a little Respect. Oh, so, and I still loved it. So, yeah, if you're up for like a rom-com that's light and breezy, watch this, because like I said, they could have very well have let her wallow for much longer in the film, but they didn't. They, you know, they let her go through her, like, the mourning period that you would maybe go through and the feelings that you would have when you're in that situation. But then they got on with it and she moved on, and it was good. It was really good. I loved it. If I'm giving it out of 5 stars, I'm going to give it 4.9. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was an excellent movie. Anywhere between 4.5 and 4.9. It's a good movie. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed it a lot. And that guy that plays Rockster, he was handsome as handsome. He was handsome as handsome could be. But now listen, I'm not going to give anything away. But you know, in the first movie, there were 2 men fighting over her. And then this one, there might also be 2 men. I'm not going to tell you though. So listen, put in the comments if you watched any of the other Bridget Jones movies, if you like them, if this is something that would maybe, you know, strike your fancy. I recommend it. So with that being said, listen, if nobody told you yet today, you're loved, seen, and heard, please make sure that you put love, kindness, compassion, acceptance, hope, and positivity out there in the world so it comes right back at you. Please take care of one another. Number 1, be aware of your surroundings. Be smart and safe. Hydrate often with some water. And if you're in a dangerous situation, please know that Dolly and I are sending our love, thoughts, prayers, and all types of positive energy, reinforcement, and vibes to make sure that you make it through. I love you guys. And guess what? You're probably going to see another video from me tonight. So I will talk to you later.